Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome. Report has it that the Great Lion has delivered judgment personally on the drama that has unfolded over the last couple of months, like 7 to 8 months now, with the Orōkïtan elders that will not allow him drink water and drop cup, that have, they have stressed the living daylight out of the Great Lion. And the Great Lion said, it is enough. I'm not going this route again. I'm not doing this again. And the Great Lion decided to pass judgment personally on them. They said 9 of them have been, permanently banned from the palace. You are not allowed to enter the palace. You're not allowed to be part of any palace activities, no traditional activities. You're not allowed to. And, this happened because, it's not like something that is very common for them to banish people in Yoruba land. Yeah, I think it is something that is more common in the Igbo land than the Yorubas, right? They always kind of find a way for you to do rituals, do cleansing, and return back to be reintegrated, okay? Not this banishment thing, they don't do it so much. But what they have done right now, what the Great Lion is said to have done, is to, ban them from palace activities. Whatever, you are not allowed to be a part of any palace activity. Yes. There's this African adage that says a python living peacefully under a rock would never attack a man unless the man keeps turning the rock with stubborn hands. The elders also warn that when a ruler forgives a stubborn goat 7 times and the goat still enters the barn to scatter the yam, the 8th time is no longer forgiveness, it is judgment. And finally, they say that a tree does not fall in the forest without, giving warnings. But those who pretend not to hear will be crushed when the tree finally decides to fall. Now, it's important to bear in mind that for these elders, this is like the entire world to them. To you who is hearing this, commentary right now, it might not really mean anything to you. What is it with, palace activity, all those local things? Yes, that happens to be what you might be thinking, but to these people is completely different. That is their world completely. Getting up every day and having something to do in the palace, sitting, with the high and mighty, being seen within your local community as, a demigod, as in you are rolling with the big boys, being part of the Great Lions team, eating and, dining, marrying with the Great Lion and all of that. It's all about some of them, their lives, like especially those ones who don't have children overseas, where they go visit, come and all of that. One thing that keeps them going is just being part of this society. And now putting them out of it is like you have taken away the bread of their life, like you have taken away everything from them. They said it was Tremor. Like they could not believe it. But then again, you do understand what has happened within the last couple of days with the Ogunjaye. Ogunjaye struck and struck and struck. And those who are enablers, okay, who have been enablers to, the things that have been happening, okay, were said to have been, caught red-handed, and now they have asked them never ever to return back to the palace, and this is a big deal to them. They said, in fact, it's something. The entire palace felt like someone had torn open the sky and allowed a strange wind to enter the ancient grounds of Ile-Ife. People walked slowly, carefully, like those who were afraid of stepping on invisible fire. Nothing felt normal. Nothing sounded normal. Even the bed around the palace roof seemed quieter, as if waiting to see what judgment would fall next. The 9 Orōkïtan elders had been roaming around the palace compound for days, trying to gather sympathy, trying to drag people into their confusion, pretending as if nothing serious had happened. They moved with the arrogance of men who believe tradition would always protect them, even when they broke the same tradition. They believe, like elders who thought age alone could save them from the consequences of their own action. It was this stubbornness that made them forget where they were standing, forget who they were dealing with. And they they forgot that the great lion did not, repeat warnings for, decoration. The great lion had tolerated too much, overlooked too much, forgiven too much. He had allowed these 9 elders to walk freely, even when their actions had brought fear, division, and spiritual turbulence into the palace. They had been given chance after chance to correct themselves, but instead of accepting, correction, they became more rigid, more entitled, more determined to attack everything connected to the jewel and everything connected to the peace. They whispered lies, manipulated tradition, and misled people who believed they had power bigger than the throne. And when the palace started shaking with strange death, when the atmosphere turned cold, when the staff that had gone missing suddenly reappeared in suspicious places, their hands were not clean. Everyone in the palace knew, this truth, but pretended not to talk. Everyone, saw the signs, but acted blind. Everyone had the, warnings, but pretended deaf. It was only the great lion who stood firm, waiting for the right, moment to draw the boundary that would never be crossed again. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Dilara. I bring you fresh and spicy just from the sources still on the royals. How I guys doing? I appreciate you so much. I love you. Share what do well, my people. If you're here to subscribe, what the hell are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and hit that button and turn on the post notification bell, and please do not forget to give this very video a thumbs up. Dilara, thank you so much. Please, when you watch videos, please give us thumbs up. When you give a thumbs up, it helps YouTube to recommend our videos. Please and please, you're doing. Thank you. It's like, is it Oliver Twist I want to become? I don't know, but please forgive me. I know you're doing so much already. Thank you. Thank you. I love you guys. Love you so much. Now, they said the final decision, came. The entire palace felt it like an earthquake. People started whispering before the sun went high. There were no drums, no announcement, no ceremony. It was just a wave of tension that spread from one corridor to the other, from one courtyard to the next, shocking, and shaking the palace like the roar of an unseen spirit. The 9 elders positioned themselves proudly at one corner of the courtyard, carrying themselves like men who expected the great lion to call them for negotiation. Some of them were shaking inside, but still pretended to be bold. Some were regretting their actions silently, but still holding their stubbornness like a shield. They thought the matter would end with a mild warning, maybe a suspension, or maybe a temporary punishment. None of them imagined what was coming. When the great lion finally stepped forward, the entire palace felt it. His presence alone scattered the pride that the 9 elders were holding on to. His calmness was not ordinary. His silence was heavier than the talking of 1,000 men. Everyone knew instantly that something permanent was about to be declared. The great lion stood there, not smiling, not shaking, not blinking more than necessary. His shoulders carried the weight of the entire palace history. His eyes, carried the decision that had already been sealed long before he walked out to meet them. He wasn't angry in a loud way. The kind of anger he carried was the one that could shake a city without, raising a voice. The 9 elders felt the judgment even before hearing it. Their feet got heavy. Their heart began beating against their rib like war drum. Sweat rolled down their faces even though the weather was cold. Daylight. Some tried to compose themselves, but they were fighting a lost battle already, against their conscience. Now, a total ban, complete expulsion from every palace activity, a lifetime disconnection from anything involving the great lion, the throne, the jewel, the rituals, the festivals, the council, and the decision-making of Ile-Ife. They were cut off like branches that had refused to produce fruit, stripped like a garment that no longer deserved to be worn, separated like men who had broken the covenant of trust. Of course, they did break the covenant of trust. The moment the ban was pronounced, the 9 elders lost control. They screamed like wounded animals. They shouted like, people fighting for their last breath. They knew their hands up in disbelief. Okay, they threw their hands up in disbelief. They beat their chests in frustration. They acted confused, angry, embarrassed, humiliated. Some blamed each other, some cursed under their feet, some acted like victims, but everyone could see it clearly. They were not angry because they were innocent. They were angry because they never believed consequences would come. Yes. Because, it's this whole drama that has given, even their own daughter the impetus to continue to do the things that she has been doing. In fact, they were so displaced that one even got up and said, the great lion has no right. The great lion has no right. There's nothing in their traditional constitution that gives the great lion this kind of right to ban them from activities. Who the hell? This is where they come from. Blah, 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 blue, blue, blue. It was a whole drama that happened. A whole drama, but to cut the long story short, they have been banned. I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.